Hello everyone, and welcome to the It's in Queens podcast, covering events in the borough of Queens between June 21st and June 27th. We are sitting here on a very hot day.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be a hot week ahead of us.
That's good.
So luckily, a lot of these things are outdoors, and the other ones are indoors with air conditioning.
Right, outdoors after the sun goes down, though, it gets cools
Exactly.
out, you'll be fine.
As always, I'm Rob Mackay from the Queens Tourism Council. To my left and your right is Chris Donovan from the Daily News Trunk.
Yes,
which co-produces this podcast.
I'm
Chris, how are you doing in the heat?
okay. I'm making it all right.
What's,
for a larger man, I do okay in the heat.
What's your favorite ice cream parlor in Queens? Since we're
You know what? So growing up, it was Jan's, right?
Jan, the one in Jackson Heights.
Of course,
or the one in
yeah.
Richmond Hill?
No, Jackson Heights. Is that the original, or
I'm not sure.
I just remember the kitchen sink. That
Yep.
was the big deal, and you had your birthday party. Growing up, then we moved over to Carvel for a little while because they had Fudgy the Whale and all those fun things. And
To me, Carvel's a level below.
well, it definitely
For a
was
kid,
quality
it's all good.
wise,
Yeah.
But that Tom Carvel pitch, man. I mean, how
Tom
could
Carvel. Yeah, I drove by his
Go
house
buy
once.
Dad a tie cake.
you?
He
He
has
almost
a-
threatened you to buy the ice cream.
If you ever get a chance, Alpine, New Jersey is where he lives. His house. Oh well, he doesn't live in. He's not alive anymore. But I remember once driving
that would
by
be
it. It is
amazing if
over
you're
the
still
top.
Yeah.
It is over the top. Yeah.
And then Eddie's Sweet Shop is always a
Eddie's
favorite.
Sweet Shop and Forshow's, they make their own. Yeah, that's a great place.
Yep.
That's a
And
great
then
place.
for ices, no one beats the
Lemon
Corona.
Ice.
Yeah, the Lemon Ice King
Okay,
Corona.
I'd say those are three pretty good options.
Yeah.
Very good options. I'm wondering if there's a ice cream parlor in Flushing where they make that. The way the Asians
The
make-
rolled. Yeah, they have Below Zero. I think it's called Below Zero
I think
or
you're
something
right.
like that.
I think you're right.
And it's in the Queens Crossing, in the basement of that Queens
Crossing
Crossing.
Mall,
Yeah.
It's about time to hit those. I mean,
Liam loves those.
oh yeah,
Yeah, he's a big fan of the s'mores.
The s'mores.
Yeah,
Gee, what
well,
a surprise! A kid likes the s'mores.
they used it. They used
Yes,
the flame.
they fire it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting to the events of the week. This week includes the summer solstice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is also my wedding anniversary.
Oh, it's your wedding anniversary.
Yeah, and I made sure we got married on June 21st because every year someone would remind me the summer solstice is coming,
Wow.
and I would not forget my
Oh, wow.
anniversary.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a smart guy.
That is very smart.
Yep.
Does your wife know that story?
She does now.
Yes, she doesn't. She doesn't watch this video. Anyway, Queens, we have a I don't know if it's unique, but we have a special solstice celebration at the Socrates Sculpture Park, which is right along the water. They do it every year, and to me, it's kind of like fun and wacky. But to some people, it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
And it's solemn, and it's a kind of a religious experience.
Oh, Buddy Audrey's very spiritual. Who runs the place?
Yeah,
over there?
and so that I respect that, but for me, it's a lot of fun. It involves all kinds of arts and workshops and stuff like that. The Blue Bus Project, which I don't know if you know about that.
No, I don't. I'd love to hear about
There's
it.
an artist, a Queens-based artist, who's actually born in Italy. Her name is Annalisa. Now, I don't want to mispronounce her last name, but I think it's Yoda Chico.
Okay.
And she bought a huge school bus, painted it blue, and she now drives around the borough to different events, and it's all full of art stuff, and she just does arts and crafts with kids.
It's a pretty cool life.
Yeah, she'll be there. There'll also be storytelling and theater, music, all that kind of stuff. And it has, as it always does, there's an urban shaman by the name of Mama Donna.
All right.
Have you ever seen? Look her up, Mama Donna. Mama
Donna.
is spelled M-A-M-A.
Right.
Donna with two N's. She always comes out during the equinox rituals. And she will do a special sort of sun worshiping or sun respecting ritualistic activity.
Oh.
No, right by the water, and
All right.
so that's kind of fun.
No sacrifices.
No, but it's something that someone like I've never seen before. But it involves the positive energy of the sun, and
Yeah.
the positive energy of the people there, and everything else. So
I like it.
yeah, it's
Definitely
also
different.
free, and it's definitely different.
There you go.
There's also the Make Music New York. Now, are you familiar with
Yes,
them?
absolutely.
Make Music New York is citywide nonprofit, and they do live music events throughout the five boroughs at a couple of different times of the year. This summer solstice, they have more than 1,000 bands out that are going to be playing all over the five boroughs. the one we like, surprise, surprise, is actually in Long Island City, Queens.
There you go.
They're sponsoring a block party with 3 bands, and I can give you the names.
Come on, give it to me.
Avi Bortnick, the Blue Dahlia, and Underground Horns. Now, those groups are going to play underneath the overpass. Do you know, it's technically called Dutch Kill Street, but do you know basically where Jackson Avenue goes, I guess, into Greenpoint, where there's an overpass?
Yes, of course. Yes.
So they're going to be jamming over there.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
over by like Manetta's, right?
Yeah. I would, if anyone's going to go, I would make sure you look up how to get there and stuff, because you can get it. Just Make Music New York's website shows you. Okay. But that's kind of fun, and it's part of a whole citywide thing. I imagine people will be using social media to all the different events to show off all the different events around the city at that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I actually want to stay on Thursday for one more event. This is Thursday's jam-packed.
That's right. It's a solstice, baby.
The same woman who I was talking about.
Mama Donna?
No, the woman whose last name I ruined.
Oh, okay.
Annalisa Yadiciccio. She actually is the artist in residence at Material for the Arts. Now, do you know Material for the Arts?
You've talked to us about this
It's
before.
out, it's kind of where Astoria becomes Long Island City, a big warehouse.
Yes.
Where
right by Lighthouse Industries, or
I would call it near the Astoria Houses projects.
Okay.
But they have art groups and stuff get props from there. It's just imagine just a huge warehouse full of stuff, full of tchotchkes, clothes, and other things. She's the artist in residence at that place. It's technically a nonprofit, and she loves recycled materials or found materials. And she actually has a show that's opening on the same night as the summer solstice. Now, I don't know how she's going to do this.
2 places the same day?
Luckily, they're very close to each other.
Well, you better Uber.
But the opening reception for her new exhibit, which is sculpture and mixed media, again, of found objects, it's called Concrete Jungle, and it is also on July 21st at the Material for the Arts.
Okay.
The
summer solstice says 5 o'clock, and the Concrete Jungle is 6 o'clock.
So she's gonna. I don't know. She's gonna
start at the summer solstice.
She's gonna snap her. She's gonna clap her shoes together 3 times and appear at another.
Which gets into our third summer solstice event.
Can I just add one thing about the Concrete Jungle, the opening reception? There's a group there that's going to play. It's called Simple Man. Now, these guys are either Hasidic or Orthodox.
Okay.
And they are, I think the new term of the art, the state-of-the-art term is that they're an atmosphere band.
Ooh.
But, it's rock and roll, it's blues, it's R&B. And they are, they're something. I was watching their videos this afternoon.
Oh, yeah? You got it to a little YouTube hole?
They rock. They rock. They're kosher. They're Sabbath observant.
Right.
They rock.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's good.
I was getting into the Wizard of Oz.
You want to talk about the Wizard of Oz?
Well,
the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, who doesn't like the Wizard of Oz?
Wizard of Oz is coming open stage in Forest Park, right?
That's right, and Sobelson Playground.
Yeah, that's hard to find. It's I think you have to enter through Richmond Hill. You know the Forest Park where you enter through Richmond Hill?
Right, because you got the Woodhaven Boulevard entrance, you got the Richmond Hill entrance.
Yeah, which is it Abington Street or Abington?
Yes.
Abingdon, yeah.
Abingdon Road.
Nice place to watch a play. It's a special group that's actually based in Lynbrook, Long Island.
Forgive them for that.
Yeah. What's the name of that troupe? It's a children's theater troupe. Is it down there?
No, it's not on here.
Yeah, it is. Plaza Theatrics.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Plaza Theatrics.
So, that reading stuff always gets to me, Rob. I'm sorry.
So there you have 4 events on a Thursday. I don't know. It's going to be.
I didn't know Sobelson Park was actually named after a Queens resident, Korean War veteran, Queens College graduate.
I didn't know that. No, you did some homework.
I did. I tried.
Oh well,
got to bring something to this podcast besides my charming and good looks.
The Korean War is really an unsung war. I mean, this is off subject, but you look at the difference between North Korea and South Korea, and it's like, wow, we made a huge difference.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's going to be a slow Friday, but.
Ramp it up on Saturday.
If you are really tired after attending 4 summer solstice
I think you have
events
to take a
in the
break on
borough.
Friday and just get back into it Saturday.
You can take the day off because there's actually a really fun thing at the Museum of the Moving Image, and it
Oh.
starts at 4.
The Museum of the Moving Image.
So take a
our
half
buddies.
day. Well, no,
Yeah.
sleep late, then go out to a nice Queen's Place for brunch,
Yep.
and then go to this. There's an open house and a community conversation. Now, basically, people are going to watch short films about Astoria, and then they're going to talk about Astoria.
Nice.
So there's an open discussion. People can talk about Astoria. And there happens to be an Astoria resident who's born in Egypt, and he has a really funny movie. His name is Bassem Yousri. He has a movie called The Wardrobe Man. And this is one of those sort of docu-fiction or mockumentaries.
Yeah,
maybe.
I love mockumentary.
It's a film about him when he went to a peninsula in Denmark to look for a guy who was known as Wardrobe Man.
Okay.
He was a hermit who had a certain wardrobe, and he was a character, obviously.
Obviously, hermits are usually characters. You never meet a gregarious hermit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this was a peculiar man with a peculiar outfit.
Right.
And a kind of a funny movie. The Egyptian artist or filmmaker, Yosri, will be there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I think there's
talk
actually
to him about his experience.
you can talk to him about his experience, and he'll be there with all the Egypt stuff. So that sounds kind of fun.
That is great.
I might just have to play hooky that day.
No, I like it. Way to be rebellious.
The next day is Nosh Walks. Now, what is if I told you Latin American food, what would your favorite item be?
Oh, well, there's a ton, right? Because that's probably the most prevalent cuisine in the neighborhood I grew up in, Jackson Heights.
Okay.
It was all South American. But I found that the way they prepare steaks is like no other.
The Argentinian
yeah,
style?
yeah.
Okay.
That was my first introduction
You
to
like
it
the
because
chimichurri?
the chimichurri sauce.
Okay.
That was the move.
Okay.
And then as I got into more stuff, ceviche was the first. I tried
you like
ceviche for the
ceviche?
first time, and then they put those little corn things in them, the pozole.
Corn things in them. Wow, I think I hit a nerve. Well, I think you should go on the Nosh Walk on Saturday. Nosh Walk is a sort of a famous culinary food walking tour company run by a woman named Myra Alperson.
Yeah, she does a lot of these.
She's been like 20, 30 years in the business.
Okay,
she used to have a biking and eating tour. We really should have her on.
Yeah, we should have her on.
She, if I remember, she might have actually started with a biking and eating tour where you would bike to different places.
Oh,
anyway, she does. I mean, there are 52 Saturdays a year. I think she does easily 45 Saturdays
Good
or
for
Sunday
her.
weekends.
Work it
She's
out.
out there doing tours all around the borough. This Saturday she comes to Latin America she comes to Jackson Heights. As we all know, Jackson Heights has great Indian food, and now it has great Tibetan, Himalayan, and even Thai food. But
there's a lot of Tibetan Himalayan, right? That's sort of exploding over there. But this is Latin America.
This tour is focusing on Latin America. Now, she actually has a habit. She does not let anyone know what restaurants she's going to until the morning of the thing.
Smart.
She also makes a map with all the restaurants on them, and she gives it to everyone who's in the tour,
like a
so they can go back if they
Nice,
want to.
nice. That's how you do it.
She did, however, she sent me an email this morning, and she did say that they will try Colombian choladas and arepas con choclo. Now, choladas are those drinks with all the fruit, and then they put the sweetened condensed milk, and it goes on, and it's just there's a lot of love in it.
Absolutely,
there's a lot of love and a lot of calories in that.
A lot of calories.
Arepas con choclo, you know that those are corn cakes. Sure.
Yeah.
Uruguayan arrojados, boss.
I like that.
I'm not quite sure what an arrojado is, except it's
rolled. Yeah, I knew that was rolled. I looked it up on Google Images. It showed me an egg roll, which I know that's not what it is.
That's not it. Okay. You also have Argentine mini pastries filled with dulce de leche, which everyone loves. Rotisserie chicken and appetizers at an Ecuadorian restaurant where the empanadas are made with sweet plantains instead of fried dough.
That's an interesting thing.
I'm down with that.
I like my favorite thing is mofongo. That's one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
I consider that Dominican really more.
Oh yeah, that's not part of this, but when I see these
it's
when I see the
Latino.
plantain, smashed plantain, that's what I think of immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might go just to get the map, so I can go back at other times.
Yeah, right.
Because some of these deserve to be hit up again. The other thing about Myra Alperson is that she likes to include a little bit of architecture and history in her tours. So in this case, she's actually going to a market that she's going to take everyone there. To a market that sells Central American, South American, Mexican products.
Nice.
So
That's
there's
a
a little
great
shopping
day.
at the end.
Yeah, and then look,
it's
the weather's going to be
$59.
fantastic.
Is it?
Yeah.
On Saturday?
On
So
Saturday.
that's definitely something to consider.
I would consider that for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's turn the page.
Turn the page.
So if I asked you, what do you know about Astoria Park? What would you tell me?
It used to be a great place to drink beer in the late 80s, early 90s.
Really?
Yeah. It was
Now,
a
why
lot
was
of,
that?
lot of kegs. Nobody bothered you. The cops didn't care.
Oh, okay.
There was no cars coming through. It was just, you would just go down there and have a couple of beers.
Well, I'm not sure that's going to be mentioned. But,
No, it probably
but
isn't
the Greater
allowed anymore.
Astoria Historical Society is going to lead. Its executive director, Bob Singleton, is going to lead a walking tour through
Bobby
Astoria
Singleton?
Park. You know him?
No, I'm just kidding.
He's going to lead a tour through the park, where he's going to discuss the history of the park, and of course the two bridges there, the Triborough, or the RFK, but it's really
It's
Triborough.
Triborough, come on.
And Hellgate Bridge.
Hellgate
which-
is Hellgate. That's it. There's only one name for that bridge.
Yeah, it is. And other stuff like the General Slocumb disaster, the big
That's the big one,
maritime
yep,
disaster
yep,
when
yeah.
a boat came on fire right there. You could see it all from the Astoria.
Right.
What was that, 1920s maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
About the-
I would say that.
Yeah, there are also, but people also don't know that there are actually reefs in there's some Hellgate reefs.
Wow.
And people don't realize that Hellgate, the Germans actually wanted to bomb it during World War II.
No kidding.
Yeah. It's a big corridor. That's where the Acela train
Yeah,
goes
the Amtrak, right.
from New York all the way up to Boston.
Yeah.
I guess that would have made it our distribution.
Yeah, up the Eastern Seaboard would have been tough to
Yeah.
get stuff up there.
Yeah, and of course Hellgate is that area right there. If you ever stand there right now, it's choppy and the river comes
Is
in
the water
awfully hard.
brackish?
It is brackish. It's brackish, and there are all these. A lot of different people have drowned there, dating
wow.
back to when the Dutch actually named it Hell's Gate because so many of their ships actually.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You know, my dad told me he used to go swimming in the East River. He'd jump in. They lived on 68th Street and right on
Manhattan?
In Manhattan. They jump in at 68th Street, and then the tide would take them down to like 34th
Oh,
Street.
yeah. That tide is
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
But you know what? The tide changes. It goes from one way and it goes back.
Yeah,
again,
it could go.
which
it
is
could take
proof
'em
that
uptown.
the East River is not a river because rivers aren't like that.
That's right.
So,
You
and
fake
it's also
East
not to
River.
the east. Those of us who live in Queens, it's to the west.
Yeah. I hate faux rivers.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what that makes it. Does that make it like an estuary or a body of water?
Let's call it an estuary.
It makes it a tidal. It makes it a tidal basin, I think.
Look
We'll
at
look
you.
that up.
I'm going to get into maritime law after this.
Okay. A couple other things I wanted to say. The Queens Botanical Garden has a photo contest. You
Nice.
can take photos and actually win prizes. This Saturday, a bunch of professional female photographers will be in the garden walking around, and people can go with them and talk shop and take photos with them and all that kind of stuff.
That's
So
cool.
that's kind of fun.
And they said bring, if you have a camera, great. If you have a smartphone, they'll
just
take
anything
you.
you want,
Everyone's
they'll
welcome.
take it.
Just come in and do what you got.
And this time of year, Queens Botanical Garden, of course, is
Blooming.
very beautiful.
Yeah,
Very
a
beautiful.
lot of weddings do their photo shoots there.
Yep.
And again, make sure you get a permit. Don't try to do the old sneak in and guerrilla
Are you
marketing.
going to tell me a story about that now?
I did know, but I have
okay.
seen people asked to stop their wedding photo
Oh, really?
without the permit. Well, I mean,
wow.
in a nice way, you have to get a permit. That's it. Just to do the right thing.
Oh, okay.
Get
Yeah.
the paperwork.
Okay, very good. So now my question is, what's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Oh, you know what? It's probably for the wrong reason, but there was this movie called The Perez Family. First of all, there were literally no Hispanic people in any of the leading roles. It was Alfred Molina.
It could
and
be
it was,
Perez is also that could be a Hebrew name. Like
Oh, okay.
Shimon Perez.
Well, it was-
How they spell Perez?
No, it was about a Cuban family, so
Oh,
it
okay.
should have had Hispanic actors in it. And it was just I was watching it and I just could never understand it. And it's probably one of the worst movies I've ever
Really?
seen. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about the best movie?
My favorite movie of all time is Tombstone. I'm a big Doc Holliday guy. I like that guy. I
Okay.
think he's cool.
Well,
Wyatt Earp too.
Well, The Museum of the Moving Image on Sunday gives you the chance to watch a movie that won an Oscar for the best film of the year, and a movie that won a Razzie. You know the Razzies?
Oh yeah,
for the
sure,
worst films
absolutely.
Of the year?
I
And
think
actually,
Sylvester Stallone has a couple of Razzies.
does he?
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And so you can actually these two films, even though they're from
They have
completely different
similarities.
generations,
Yeah.
they have sort of similarities because they're sort of some self-interested characters and conniving evil
Some
people.
campy, yeah.
Yeah. One, of course, is all about Eve. That stars Betty Davis, right?
Yeah.
So I don't. Betty Davis was what? She was a long time ago. Was she before the 1940s? We're not Betty Davis experts on this show.
No, but I do remember the song "Betty Davis Eyes" by Kim Carnes, and that was in the '80s.
Okay, so that pretty much answers that question.
Right? Yeah, that pretty much gives you all the information.
The other
you need.
movie is called Showgirls.
Now that one I remember, and that movie was terrible.
Was it horrible?
Oh,
it
was
deserved
awful.
that Razzie.
It was the girl from Saved by the Bell, and she all of a sudden she became like a stripper, and it was just like there was just terrible dance productions, and there was a kidnapping. I think it was just I was watching it and I was just going, wow,
Really?
this is
There's a
garbage.
kidnapping, and you're like, I'm not paying anything. I'm not
No,
paying any ransom
listen,
for
let
that
him
woman.
keep them.
Let me add a couple of outdoor events in Woodside on 61st Street. There's a big outdoor sort of street festival. This one's hosted by
Woodside
Woodside on the
Worldwide.
Move.
Right.
I do believe that there are pony rides there.
Huh.
There's also a huge summer
love a pony
celebration at the King Manor Museum, or that whole park out there in Jamaica, Rufus King Park. You know, that's that nonprofit. That's a historical landmark, and so they're going to be doing historical games, but they're also going to have a make your own ice cream.
Oh.
And, they always do like butter churning and those kind of things there. So you can go out there and make your own ice cream. They'll have different flavors and you choose, and so that's kind of fun, especially if you have kids. That pretty much does it for me. I wanted to add one more thing.
Yeah, bring
and
it.
That is, do you know the NPR show The Moth?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
It's a storytelling contest, but they do it all over the U.S.
Okay.
It started a Southern guy who used to tell stories with by lantern with his families as moths would gather around.
All right, that makes sense.
So people, tell stories part of a contest, and they do it all around. And Flushing Town Hall, which is one of our favorite places, is actually hosting a moth story slam. So some of the most fantastic storytellers in the borough will be around, and they'll be competing, obviously. That is actually June 27th, which is Wednesday.
Okay.
That would be next
of the
Wednesday.
following year, or the following week.
The subject is endings. So all of the contestants will have to tell interesting, funny stories about endings.
Okay.
I guess an ending would be a divorce, obviously.
Sure.
A breakup.
Uh-huh.
The death of a favorite pet.
Yeah.
Anything else that cares?
Anything more uplifting?
Graduation would be an ending.
There you go. Yeah.
Or a beginning. That'd be an ending. So that's it. 5-minute stories, and some of the most talented.
So now you're telling me, if I have a story about an ending, I
Yes,
can go in there, put my name in a hat.
You have to go out there. You put your name in a hat, and then you pick them out. And some you go up there, and there are judges. And
Okay.
so you have a story about endings.
It's almost like an open mic, but you have to have a specific story. in mind.
And you have to follow the directions. But they broadcast the different contests.
Oh, do they?
On NPR? Yeah, and then some of them are really good.
Very good.
Obviously, some of them are great. I know there's a reporter for the New York Times, NPR now. He was New York Times, he's now for NPR, by the name of Jim O'Grady, and he's a fantastic storyteller, and he likes to compete in those. So we'll see if he's there on Friday.
You going?
That is, I have to think of a story about an ending.
Yeah, that would be.
Because if I go, I'm competing without a doubt.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Chris, what am I missing?
I think you covered it all. We've said a lot here today.
Okay.
It's
actually not a bad week. I mean,
not.
there's nothing huge that there's not any like big,
Did you attend the
famous band coming into town. But
did you attend that concert on Saturday?
Cool in the Gang. I did
Yeah.
not make it to Cool in the Gang
Yeah.
because I didn't make it at about 10 o'clock. I was done.
You were done,
I was
huh?
very, very tired.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I had a.
Well, I
not
saw
much
on
sleep
social
on.
media it was very well attended, and it was a really good
Cool
show.
in the Gang? Yeah, Cool in the Gang's a lot of
Come
fun.
on. How you gonna...
That's it. I'm going
That's
to
it.
leave you with one more thing. Chris over here has a very injured toe. Correct?
That is correct.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Chris did not spend this past weekend in the borough.
Oh, wait. I came back Sunday strong, and we did Father's Day lunch at John Brown's Smokehouse.
Oh, did you?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Okay. So that's probably why he feels a little bit better. But
Absolutely.
he went upstate. He went to the
I did.
Catskills. Is that right?
New Paltz, yeah.
Went to New Paltz and
Got hurt.
Injured himself.
That's why I'm not leaving Queens again.
So bad
That's
that
it.
his he had to have his big toe removed or something like that.
No.
You're now in a wheelchair.
I do.
What's your story?
Yeah. I had a toenail
So
removed.
let that a toenail removed. All right. So let that just be a lesson.
Don't leave Queens ever.
Yes, we let us make mistakes so you don't have to.
That's right.
Stay in the borough.
Stay safe and stay in the borough.
And and in honor of the moth.
There's no moth superhero. There should be right?
The
Mothman.
Yeah, Mothman.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could tell a
He
story about
ruined
Mothman
sweaters.
dying.
He
Or
ruined
Mothman.
sweaters across the
Yeah.
United States.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. We'll think about that.
All right.
No
Well,
one steal that idea. Trademark Chris Donovan, 2018.
thank you all very much for watching. And as always, everything we talk about is kind of off the cuff, but things are correct on our website, which is www.it'sinqueens.com. Follow us on social media, always with the hashtag and everything else. It's in Queens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.